Come on, eh? All the best, eh, boys?
Well, it doesn't really matter what anybody else does then at that stage. If we lose the game or we draw, then we are to some extent dependent upon what the other teams do.
Yeah, you want him down there? Yeah. Let's just get that little there again.
They're not as big as I thought they were going to be. Yeah, they're going to have Jamesy, Oldfield, possibly pick this up.
All right, boys. Now, you don't need me to say too much today. You know what's required. Let's go out to look to win the game. We don't have to win it in the first few minutes. Be nice and sensible. Let's impose our own authority on the game. You've done it brilliantly all the season, so there's no reason why you can't go out today. Irrespective of what happens, if you give me today a performance like you had the other night, with attitude, commitment and character, I'll settle for that, because that's what you've given me most of the season. OK, so let's keep our standards. That's the standard we set at West Brom on the opening day of the season. Let's take it there today. If we get the rub of the green, we're on our way.
7,500 Sheffield United fans have made their way down the M1 today for what they hope will be the afternoon that sees their team lift the Second Division Championship. The team that will try to do it shows no changes from the 0-0 draw at Blackburn in midweek. Chris Wilder continues at centre-half for Paul Stancliffe, who on his 32nd birthday hasn't recovered from a calf strain. And it's Tony Agana for Sheffield United who get the final match of the 46-game league season underway. And already Sheffield United with the first early attack, as they like to do, but Martin Hodge, once of Sheffield Wednesday, was there collecting the ball. And Mark North, the former Grimsby Town player, is playing at centre-back for Leicester for the first time in his life, but David Pleat, his manager, says he's quite confident he can cope with it. Oldfield won the header, and Wilder was covering well. Nice flick there from Kelly, and there may be chances here for Tommy Wright. Didn't hit it right. Challenge came in, and Tommy Wright won something more than a corner. Gary Mills was in there, arguing with the referee. And they have a free kick. It's about a yard outside the penalty area, and early moments of danger that Simon Tracy could well have done without as he defends that goal, organising the wall. So, they've clearly got something specific worked out for this, of Leicester City. 5 in the wall. Maybe tap back from McAllister. McAllister again, it's deflected and inches wide. Less than a foot wide, I think, from Gally McAllister, who strikes the ball particularly well. And he did so on that occasion. The ball laid back to him, and it hit somebody. I think it hit Brian Dean, just wide. And Dean was beaten in the air there by Tony James, and it's another corner. And Brian Dean so far not having the most successful times as he tries to help out his defence. And again Dean was beaten in the air by Tony James. Tony James is 23 next month, and just 2 years ago he was earning his money as Sheffield Steelworks, playing for Gainsborough. He's come a long way. Hopkins' path back to the goalkeeper was cut off there by Wood. And it might just provide something for Sheffield, for Bryson. No real power, didn't probably get balanced over the shot, Ian Bryson, but he scored 2 last Saturday from just that sort of position. Harry McAllister poised over the free kick. James tussling for it and still going for it. Has not very effectively cleared a chance here, and a fine goal, brilliantly struck by Gary Mills. Well, he's already won the Leicester City Goal of the Season award. I don't know what that one was like, but this one this afternoon would take some beating. Gary Mills is the Supporters Club Player of the Year, and he deserves it for this shot alone, very nearly. Terrific half volley. Tracy, I think, just got a hand to it. If he did, it would have stung, but he couldn't keep it out of the net, and Sheffield United are a goal down in their most important afternoon of the season. James. Moughlan killing it in. There's Oldfield in there, and Simon Tracy. I think one or two hearts missed a beat there, but he got hold of it. Dean and Agana going for the same ball, and North very coolly back to Hodge. Forward by Booker for Agana. James sticking to him like a limpet. Ian Bryson with the first chance maybe to run this afternoon. In for Agana, and Wood's in there, and Paul Wood. 1-1. That's what they came for. Third goal for Paul Wood since he arrived from Brighton. A reward for determination. He just never stopped. £90,000 from Brighton, worth every penny. Bit of space for McAllister. Away by Hill. Not great for Wood, and it does, and nicely played for Brian Dean. Now then, he's got Agana making ground inside the penalty area. Aim for Agana, and Agana is inches away. Here's Rostron, well blocked by the goalkeeper. Bryson with a chance. Hit it well, off the line. Agana still fighting for it. Will it go in? For Dean. It has for Brian Dean. It seemed it would never go in. They kept going, and finally Brian Dean with his 8th goal in 11 games. And we have the kind of pitch invasion we could well have done without. Let's watch it again. It seemed the ball would never go in. Brian Dean making great ground. It was well played for Agana. The goalkeeper didn't really hold it. Rostron was in there. It fell for Bryson. Bryson hit it well, off the line. Agana's in there again. And finally Brian Dean. I reckon they had about 8 attempts at that. When Martin Hodge launched himself for that first ball that Agana was chasing, he may well have taken a knock there. Let's just see again, if we can, where Martin Hodge took his knock. The collision there, and it may just be that a knee caught him quite accidentally. And Martin Hodge being led away, at least for the moment, and I'm sure that he would like to carry on, but the Leicester officials want to be absolutely certain that he's able to. Back in their own half, Mark Morris and Wilf Rostron just trying to make sure that their concentration isn't affected by this considerable delay. So Mark North prepares for his second new position of the afternoon. It's possible he may have played the odd few minutes before in goal, but certainly he now has to face 3/4 of a match, having started the match in what was a new position as centre-back. Wood up with Paris, and Paris won it. Martin Hodge there, with his back to us, is still having treatment, still hoping that he'll be fit to resume, but there's clearly some concern about that. Corner to Sheffield United, then taken by Rostron. Oh, it missed everybody, and North didn't hold it, and it was off the line by Mocklin, I think, from Agana. Mark North couldn't hold it, understandably so. Very difficult job being asked of him. Let's watch it again. Corner floated in by Rostron. Couldn't hold it. Agana takes the shot at it, and off the line by Mocklin. Now North's got to face it all again. Rostron, and the header over the top from Bryson. Ian Bryson would be the first to tell you that heading isn't his speciality. And it would appear that Mark North's ordeal as a goalkeeper may be over. He now has to face the ordeal of being a centre-back again, and Martin Hodge, the good news, is fit to resume. Oldfield from McAllister, and out to Tommy Wright, who's had a quiet time of it, and one of the smallest men on the field just couldn't quite grow enough for that. Chris Wilder will take the throw. Still only 22. Big afternoon this for him. Probably the biggest of his life. Forward by Morris. Mocklin beat Bryson. And so far Martin Hodge hasn't had a serious shot to save since he came back from his injury, which will be just what his manager David Peake will have been hoping, I rather imagine. Alan Paris, control let him down, and Wood was in there. And it's 2 against 2 in the penalty area if you can get it over, but North was in the way. Dean flicked for Agana, onside, 3-1. The old 1-2 that worked so often last season has worked again when it matters most at the end of this. It was back in by Wilder. Beautiful little flick from Dean. Easy. 3-1. Tony Agana's 11th goal of the season. And the first thing Martin Hodge had to do in anger after his injury was to pick the ball out of the back of the net. Well, I think if titles were won on volume of support, Sheffield United's fans are putting in a good bid in this opening 35 minutes. Dean won the header for Wood. Agana might have taken his head off if he'd had a go at it. Forward from Barnes for Agana, won by Mocklin, well won. And again. First time ever from Rostron, and it's gone in! Wilf Rostron! It's all going their way.
Please keep off the pitch. Please go back to your seats and please keep off the pitch.
Third goal of the season for Wilf Rostron. More joy for the travelling faithful. And the oldest man on the field has struck gold. Just watch. challenge. Late and clumsy rather than malicious, I think, but nonetheless, the name in the book. McAllister's free kick. A little push by Oldfield on Booker went undetected there. Leicester have a throw. Harris will leave for James. And a shot from Mark North has gone in. Well, he may be playing at the back, but the striker's instinct hasn't gone. And it's 4-2. The throw from James caused the problem. It wasn't properly cleared. Half chance, bang, 4-2. Sixth goal of the season for Mark North. He scored at Bramall Lane as well against Sheffield United, so he makes a habit of this. The referee, Mr. Callow, blows his whistle at the end of a quite extraordinary 45 minutes, almost 55 by the time we finally finish. The half-time score, just what the doctor ordered for Sheffield United. Leicester 2, Sheffield United 4.
We'd make a change on the corners. Illy, you'll pick up Kelly, Barnes' man. You'll pick Kelly up on the corners, OK? You'll then pick North up, the 5, OK? Yeah, bigger. Jock, you'll do the zone, OK?
Can we just sort that out as well? Like, the last one, Chris was picking up righty. There was Dino and Bob picking up with 2, and we had no zone man. If our zone gets pulled out like Jock Bryson now, Mark, you've got to be across in the hole in the 3. Do you understand? No, you don't, obviously.
We're talking the corner? Yeah. No, he's marking at a corner.
Who's he marking?
Yes, he's marking at he's at the near post with Oldfield and James, him and Deansy there.
All right.
So it's him marking with
We
Deansy.
still need a zone in there.
Yeah, Wilf's the zone, in the corner.
What, in the front?
No, Jock's the zone, near post zone. Chris is on the edge. Jock's come off on taking Illy to Mark instead of Jock. That's all the only difference. All right, he's on the edge of the box. Chris, you
Wasn't in that. We're one short.
That's all right, well, that's all right. Well, if he's out there,
What I'm saying is the 6-yard man has got to be in front. If he's out.
yeah, Jock's got to be out, yeah.
Who's going?
Get together.
Do your job. It's important we keep our shape at the back, the 2 centre halves, because all they're doing is trying to pull you out to get the midfield runner in. So it's important, if one of you's gone, the other one's got to be in, and the 2 full-backs have got to be narrow.
And as we start the second half, with Leicester trailing 2-4 to Sheffield United, let us not forget that Leicester haven't lost at home since November the 18th, when they were beaten here by Ipswich Town. Well, Simon Tracy still at goal, of course, for Sheffield United, but Leicester City are playing without Martin Hodge in the second half. The decision's obviously been made at half-time that Mark North should return to that position, and Martin Hodge, who looked groggy, it has to be said, is not fit to continue. But Leicester very much carrying the game to Sheffield United in the second half. So far, Simon Tracy's defence holding firm. They mustn't do anything silly. Another goal might kill Leicester off. Now Agana over the top. This really would have killed the match stone dead, I think. Great turn by Tony Agana. Just couldn't keep the shot down, but a good effort. Wood might drive it in low. Agana's in there. North at the second attempt. Certainly an afternoon he'll remember. Fitzpatrick's onside. Twice in that covering. Space for Mills to cross. Away by Rostron. Spectacular by Whitehurst. Oh, now the slip by Paris, it's let Garner in. Will this seal the season? Will it go? It has gone in. Antonio Garner surely now has put Sheffield United back into the First Division after 14 years. Certainly they think so. Antonio Garner, it wasn't absolutely clean, the finish. Nobody will care about that. See it again, the slip by Paris, who completely misjudged the bounce of the ball. And Garner was on his way and slipped it past North, and it bobbled just inside the post. I think one thing we can be absolutely sure of is that the people round the ground will want to come onto the pitch at the end. Let's hope they at least do it in a reasonably sensible way. Here's Wilder. Certainly it's been a very good-humoured afternoon, a very good-humoured crowd. Whitehurst, it's a very friendly atmosphere at the start of the game. The referee has checked his watches several times, and he's off. The final whistle goes on Sheffield United's season. The referee, I think, had planned that to make sure that the players could get off, or as many of them as possible, before the 7,000 Sheffield United fans who've come down to celebrate could invade the pitch and engulf the players. Sheffield United have won promotion, and who can say they don't deserve it? They won this match by 5 goals to 2.
Division 1 now, Anfield, Old Trafford, Highbury.
That's right, I mean, nobody can take that away from us now, you know. We've worked hard all season. We've had our critics, and, you know, we've answered them in the best possible way by going up, you know. You know, nobody can say that we don't deserve to go up because...
And the crowd were terrific today, weren't they?
Unbelievable from start to finish, you know. I can feel champagne falling on me. Yeah, just totally stayed. Brilliant crowd. You know, we brought loads down, like we expected, and they helped us all along the way.
And now First Division for the first time at, what, 32?
32. First Division next year. See you later.
Leeds are the champions. Good luck to them. But over the season, we're second best in that league, and nobody can take that away from you.
And you'd like to keep your manager, wouldn't you?
Well, he's not leaving, is he? Man, I've not seen him since. You know, I don't know what's happened to him.
He's gone already.
I think the fans might have kidnapped him. You know, but it's a great feeling. I'm pleased for the fans and everybody connected with the club.
Where does this rank in your football career?
Pretty low down.
Now tell me the truth.
No, I mean, obviously, it's probably the best day, because when I came out with Wimbledon, it happens so quick and you don't savour it. Today I was able to savour it, and the second time round you can see it and appreciate it more. And with the fans and the support we had here today, it was tremendous.